Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime with your host Steve and Colin. We're still charging forward in the vein of getting through the Chargeman Ken arc.
I
It's
forgot that you had said charging forward at one point. That was now the thing.
that was the thing.
The
I should
thing.
also this is like see this art here. This
hmm
this is like those horrible filler episodes you had in like old like early 2000s
Like
anime.
Naruto.
Like Naruto, yeah. And
Um,
One Piece and Bleach and
I think the thing about this that hurts the most is that it's not that it's like an arc uh for the whole series. It's just an episode arc that they use over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
yeah, well we
hmm
might come World Peace or something at one point.
Okay.
I mean
Um,
they had that truce moment in one of the episodes where the big asteroid was coming towards
they
Earth.
did. They did. I don't know. That's yeah. Yeah. Shit gets crazy in this show. Anyway, we're going to talk today about episodes 16 to 20. Starting off with episode 16, Murder Record, Melody of Terror.
Oh, Murder Record Melody of Terror. I didn't read the title, but so this episode is basically Kingsman.
Is it? Does that
Yeah,
happen in the Kingsman?
yeah. The first Kingsman is about audio to control people and they go psycho.
Oh, well, this one is just audio to control people and kills them. It
Yeah,
does. It totally murders them. They just get old and die.
that's what it seems to be at the first half minute of this episode,
I guess it then changes.
and
But
then
yeah, they're at a record store. Or
I
not
don't.
them. They're not a record store to start with. There's just
So,
people in a record store all yelling about things they want.
yeah,
And then someone starts playing the new record and everyone's like all smiley, and then they're like, oh no, this is wrong, and they start crying in agony and age and die.
but yeah, the age and die. It was like, hey, doesn't sound familiar. And he was asked
Oh
for like Beethoven Fifth Symphony or
yeah,
something like that.
Beethoven's fifth symphony. No, it
Was it?
wasn't that.
Or was it Bach? We might ask for
No,
Bach.
no, it was Beethoven's ninth symphony.
Oh, it was some, and then other people asked for like uh dollars records and they play on and Eternal, and then Karen comes in and goes, "Oh, I got to go and buy this new record," and they're like, "Oh, that's Chargeman Ken's sister." Quick.
Can we point out though? Can we point out
Uh huh.
it's the same record store,
Uh huh.
right? It's the same record store.
Yep.
They walked in past a floor littered with corpses of the old. And we're like, hey, I want to hear some music. And Chargeman Ken was like, oh, nothing seems weird here.
Well, Chargeman Ken wasn't there. It was just his
Was he
sister
not?
went. It's just
Oh,
his
that's right.
sister and the
Sorry,
robot.
she takes the record back.
Yeah, like, all right, I got this. Oh, here it is. That's cool. And then she plays it, and then everyone goes, ah, ah, and Barry can say, that's an all right tune. You gotta destroy it. And he's like, why? It's such a waste.
And it's like, oh, I quite like the tune. He goes, no, it's a bad record. Smash it.
I love when they smash it. So he
Yeah.
takes it off the machine and he just throws it on the ground. And instead of like smashing like a vinyl would, it goes in fire. Literally fire on fire.
Like it was possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Uh,
Really, really enjoyed that.
and
It's
then,
it's so weird because that's kind of almost the entire episode.
oh, they do the robotic chase with the Julians.
Yeah, the Jularians.
And because they go back to the store, and then they
Yeah.
kind of do the Robotnik chase where, even though he's probably faster than them, they stay just that bit ahead.
He does. That's right. They're in the shop, and then they just all run to the left,
Yeah,
and then they're all of a sudden in somewhere in that store that that shouldn't exist.
yeah.
That shouldn't exist.
And then they turn into Julians, and then he just shoots them.
He shoots them,
Yeah. And
and then, and no. Then they're at home listening to a record, which I should point out is dun, da, 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 dun. dun, which is actually just the music from the show. And they listen to that, and then he picks it up, he switches it off, and they look at him and go like, "What?" And he's
Yeah,
like, "I'm just joking." And I was like, "Why? What does that any of that mean?"
he's shaking
I
something as
don't
well. He's got some like rattle or something.
like. Yeah, he goes
Yeah,
psychopath. Um,
yeah.
there's like Chargeman Ken's a lunatic. Um, I don't like this. This is a pretty good episode though. This is up there with Man of the West Ken and Cerulean X6, which are also wild episodes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's certainly one of the better
oh,
ones.
and the Art Gallery Mystery, which is also great.
Yeah.
Um, this next one,
Mhm.
episode 17, is called "Find Ken's Secret,"
Mm.
which this is such a rushed episode. It's like there's a scientist and he's doing some stuff and we're gonna go and visit him.
No,
Yeah,
I think I
that's
think
right.
I think it's the scientist, the one that keeps telling them stuff to do stuff.
Yeah, but like, I mean, does it really matter?
Oh, he's familiar with Chargeman Ken, so he'll know
Oh, very
his
much so. That is
weakness.
important to the plot.
Yeah,
I guess if he didn't know him, it would be very unfortunate for his torture.
yeah. Um, yeah. So there's a big giant robot comes in, and the guards try to fight it off, but can't. So put a tracker on the big giant robot,
Yep.
and then I think Ken and the sister and
Ken and
robot,
Karen and Bacaro Baracco
uh, Baraka,
Barakan Baraka BA
Baraka.
Baracus.
Yeah,
Uh,
they come in
yeah.
because he wants to see the research, and Baraka's like, "Oh, I would just rather just sleep in."
I don't need to see research. I'm tired.
Yeah, he's a robot.
He's a robot.
How do he get
Looks
tired?
like a wiffle ball.
Yeah. Anyway, so they go in, and then the guards say, "Oh yeah, he's been taken here. Follow him on his radar." So Chargeman Ken and Baraka go to the secret
Charging,
location. Go.
go. And then
Yeah,
yeah, suddenly Barakan's there as well.
yeah. He comes along. And then they jump out his ship and are like crouched by the building, and suddenly inside the building,
Well, they've been torturing the scientist to find out Chargeman Ken's secret. What's his weakness? And he's like, he has no weaknesses.
and he goes, "How dare you?" And then he pulls it
And,
again. It's like, no,
yep, he
no,
has
no
no
witness.
weaknesses. Please, like electrocuting me is not going to change this.
Yeah,
We didn't budget for weakness. We just budgeted for him transforming and killing everyone. Please.
yeah. So he came in. Robot attacks Ken. Ken like tries to kick it in the face, and drops his gun,
Yep.
and then Barakan comes, rolls in under the feet, topples, trashes the robot.
Yep.
And then Ken gets his gun, shoots it, but doesn't kill it. It confuses it, and it attacks the Drillarians itself. No, it falls
Does.
over on it.
It
No, it
falls
falls,
over on them.
and then explodes.
Yes.
And then scientists ask, like, "Oh, they were looking for your weakness, Ken." And he's like, "Oh, I don't mean to boast, but I have none. But seriously, it's arithmetic.
It's yeah, I hate maths. Bad maths.
I can't do maths." In the episode.
Jesus Christ. Episode 18. The Great Escape from Prison Island. This one's great because it starts off in a way where you're like immediately going, oh, that guy with the purple hair that they take into prison, he's a Drillalian.
Yeah, very much.
That guy. And do you know how I know? One, he has purple hair. Two, he hasn't said anything except for when you're about to put him in the cell and he goes,
Yeah, it's laughing.
you're like, who does that?
The other good bits in this one is so he's in the cell and he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're all the people, all the hundred odd prisoners, thousands of prisoners in this
Mm-hmm.
Alcatraz kind of prison, essentially,
Yeah.
prison on an island." is getting sent to some distant planet for free labor, and they're like, "Oh, we're not liking that. We're going to have to riot." It's like, okay, cool. I got I got this. And he pulls out a gun, and one of the guy guns like, "Where did you get that?" And then they just start blasting, and then
Yeah,
just start
where
blasting.
where did you get that? And then it cuts scene to them being out of the cell and having murdered some guards.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that there's a scene where they're looking at the Geralian guy in the prison cell, and it's taken from the camera perspective of in between the top and bottom bunk. There's just the guy's legs floating. I was like, did someone hang themselves in this cell? Like just at the thought of a conversation with this guy. And it's like, no, he's just dangling his legs
Off the bunk.
off the end of the bunk. It's fine. It's cool. It's all good.
So once they break out, there's like, oh, but how are we getting off the island? And then there's a boat just in
Yep.
part outside out. It's like, how did that get here? Where did you get that?
Do you like all the unanswered questions? Where did you get that gun? Where did that boat come from? How do you know what to do?
Yeah.
Just do the thing, please.
And then they end up at the city and then start killing people. And Ken's like, how
Yeah.
did they escape?
Yeah, the news thing is like urgent thing. People, hundreds of prisoners have escaped and gotten on a boat into the city to murder people.
Yeah.
Oh no, better get there.
I mean, it's not much of a prison riot now. It's essentially just a riot.
It is just like a full-on scale. We need to lock this city down because everyone's about to die, and they are just like straight up murdering people.
Yeah, they got like rifles and not laser guns
Yeah.
in this.
Where did they get those rifles, Colin?
On the boat, man. On the boat.
On the boat. Where did they get the boat, Colin?
I don't know.
Where did they get the rifles to get the boat? I don't know. It's a crazy story. And then he's like, oh no, can't. He Chargeman Ken's.
Oh, well, it kind of stops. So it's like the guy is asking all the questions of like, where do you get this? Where do you get that? Says, oh, well, you can't kill a child.
Yeah.
And then the Geralian's like,
can't I?
And then he kind of like touches him or something, and he goes, wait, you're not human. And he's like, he just turns around and does zaps, and then he turns into Geralian, and then.
I love it because he's like, this is my plan the whole time, was to lead you idiots onto here to murder a bunch of humans. You cowards.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's insane. And then Chargeman Ken jumps on the scene, and then they have like a weird samurai showdown where Ken just like shoots them.
No, it's they do the whole like gunfight at high noon thing, like underneath a water tower, and they just stare, and he just goes, "Bada!" Shoots him. Episode ends.
Yeah, but he doesn't. The guy just like stands there for a split second and then just falls forward. It's like what?
It's so good. It just ends.
Yeah.
There's no knowledge of the aftermath. It's just done.
Yep.
Oh God. Wow. Well, episode 19. Bank gang. Karen's in danger.
Yeah.
Probably because she's bad at roller skating.
I mean,
Barakan is also bad at roller skating.
It's a pretty steep hill.
I guess.
Yeah. Was it so? Yeah. This one starts off with them kind of Karen and Barakan are cycling with some friends, I believe.
They're rollerblading, and they're on their own, and then there's a bank robbery that's also happening at the same time.
Ah, but you forget the two people are watching them, and they're like, "Oh, that's Chargeman Ken's sister. Should we kidnap them for and that?" And then one of them goes, "No, let's see what happens." Like that one of those days, like the Simpsons kind of episode of where it's like all the stories of the Simpsons. What was it called?
It's like 19 stories of the Simpsons or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was like let's see what happens type thing. So, and then the bank robbery happens, and the police start shooting,
Yep.
and they just start shooting.
They almost kill Chargeman Ken with a headshot.
Oh yeah, they,
Like he narrowly avoids being shot in the face,
yeah.
which is pretty funny.
And then, yeah, so and then Karen skates in, and hits the crowd because she can't stop, and then they, haha, we got the upper hand, coppers.
And he's like, I can't become Chargeman Ken because I can't hurt humans. That is also a weakness.
I can't hurt humans with my alpha ray.
Only Duralians.
Only aliens. So the robbers get away, and then the two aliens were like, "Hey, stop that!" and then beat them up
They do.
and steal Karen.
They put her in the car.
Yeah, and Ken comes around the corner and goes, "Oh, where's Karen?" And they're like, "Oh, these guys took like three bullets."
And he just Chargeman Ken's away.
He's like, "Fuck, that's too aliens," and then chase him down in his car chase with his flying saucer.
I uttered the phrase, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail, while watching this. And my wife said, what are you talking about? I was like, if you're Chargeman Ken, everything is a Duralian. Like, it's always Duralians. It'd be like, I'm out of peanut butter. It was the Duralians. And it's like just literally blaming them for everything possible.
He actually does. What episode? There's an episode where he does a fist up, and there's an episode where he goes, it's like, oh, it's the Fax TV one, which we'll get to.
We'll get to
an episode.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. But yeah, we will get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically this ends in like a car spaceship chase.
Yeah, and then he does.
Where he wins.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they all go rollerblading.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's the end of the episode.
Yep.
And the last episode we're going to talk about today, episode 20, Ken gets a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, Ken gets a girlfriend.
There's a lot of worrying things in this one.
Oh,
he's cycling and he can't cycle for shit. He knocks over this girl who has apples.
Oh no, he starts to go really fast and scares Barakan, but Barakan denies that he's scared.
That is true. Barakan is an asshole. And I hate him with every fiber of my being.
Oh, such strong emotions for a non-character.
He sucks.
He's the most characteristic character in the show.
I know he has the most character.
Most character. And it's not
it still sucks. But yeah, he basically ends up bumping into this young girl who's holding apples. He goes to help her pick up the apples and they touch hands and they both blush.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, hey, let me give you a ride home.
Yep.
And he abandons Barakan, which is actually quite funny because she's like, hey, your robot, you left it behind. He's like, no, I told him to wait.
And then he shouts, no, he didn't.
You absolutely didn't, Ken. You did not tell me to wait.
Yeah. I like the bit where he just goes, oh, miss, all the time. Oh, miss. Miss.
So painful.
Yeah. So he takes her lift home, and then he kind of asks her around to meet the family. That was quick.
But he also says, it's like, oh, you can come and stay at mine. What? You haven't exchanged names yet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and you live here by yourself? Yup. Nothing weird about that. And then when he cycles away, there's just this shot of her going, staring out the window at him, just looking at him leave, not saying, completely emotionless. And it's like, yes, nothing could possibly be wrong here. There's definitely, she's fine.
I don't know how much of that is.
Oh, it's 100% budget.
Yeah, it's all about budget.
But the way they did it, it's like actually really effective, but it's so cheesily effective because it's just like you've given away everything. Like I know, well, you give it away everything by having Chargeman Ken interact with another person who we don't already know. In which case, I automatically presume they're a Duralian because that's how this works.
Yeah, not all the time, most of the time.
No, most of the time. Certainly most.
Yeah. So, anyway, so the next thing we know, she's having tea and cake at his house. And he's introducing the family. And he doesn't introduce Barakan.
It's very, very angry.
And what storms off.
Yep.
And then he comes
And then
back
comes
and
back
plays harmonica.
really badly.
But yeah, and it really upsets the girl, who then turns into Julian.
It's like, again, I'll give you an insight into my watching experience of this while I was watching it. I was like, wow, that harmonica. She hated that harmonica so much, she turned into an alien and fell out of the window backwards. It's just such an extreme reaction. It's like, oh,
Did we get another robotic run at this point? Did they go chasing after her, or did he just shoot her dead in the back?
I think she might already be dead.
No, he shoots her in the base of the spine. I remember that. And she
Oh,
goes,
as she's running away.
yeah,
Chargeman Ken's a cold motherfucker.
he is 100%. And then they go back and basically say, Barakan, do you know that tune that you played? Oh no, I don't know it anymore. It's like, what? Oh, could have like got rid of all the Jureans so we played that tune.
I might remember it someday. It's like,
Yeah.
why are you so inconsistent? You're so unreliable, Barakan.
That's his character.
You can set your watch by Chargeman Ken, but Barakan is just not reliable.
No.
Oh boy. Well, it's incredible, but we have done it. We have reached the end of our episode for today. Man, Chargeman Ken is getting rough. Getting real rough.
Yeah.
But in which case, we'll go through the gubbins. You've been listening to Who's That Anime, an anime podcast all about anime. You can find us at our home, anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. If you'd like to give us a review, that would be really cool. It's a really good way to help us like climb up the charts. And if you've given us a review already and you can't, or you don't, the podcasting software that you've got doesn't let you give reviews, then telling a friend is another really cool way to do that. We'd really appreciate it. We also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Who's the Anime, where we put the new episode releases and the occasional anime meme. We also have a Discord channel. You can find the link to that in the show notes. We also have YouTube, where Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes. We also have the RSS for this podcast running through YouTube now, so as well, if you like to listen to podcasts on YouTube, you can do that there too. Colin and I also occasionally like to play video games. Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. And you can find the archives of all of the streams from those different channels at youtube.com by going to youtube.com again and searching for at couchfuel or at hailpayman.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, we did another one. Like, real quick.
I mean, there's not much, there's no substance to these, Colin. It's the same story. Which,
What?
the benefit of this is talking about the bits that are funny.
There's only 5 of those.
And there's only like 5 of those. There's 1 per episode.
Well, I think
occasionally, some of them there's more.
And some of those are less.
Correct. But we will be back next time to talk about more Chargeman Ken, episodes 21 to 25, continuing this bonus season of content that will slowly put us in some sort of mental hospital, which is a coincidence because next week we'll be talking about that.
Oh, the mental hospital episode.
Good times ahead. Good times ahead.
That goes dark.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Anyway, I suppose on that note, we'll see you all next week with our next episode. Same every time, same anime place, charging forward into the future light of anime.
Like some sort of charging Ken.
Charging Ken. Raging Bull.
Bye, folks.
Bye.